Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month-end edition here of the StarCraft Evolution League, the SEL Masters Showmatch number 6. Your monthly dose of Showmatch action. I'm of course your host, Live VIP. With him, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the villain chats as well. Welcome, one all. We are here. We are live with something special, something different here. SCEvo Starcraft Evolution, of course, is a custom mod that does put together Brood War and SC2. They do face off. In a 1v1 format, and usually we do host open brackets and tournaments, but here we have a showmatch instead, a showmatch between Solar and Classic, arguably the best Zerg and Protoss players in SCEvo. I say arguably. I think I would play Shin above Solar. I think I would say it's Classic and Shin, but Solar, he'd be a close second. It's Solar and Shin as 1 and 2, and you can argue who is better than the two of them at the time. Regardless, you don't get quite much better than these two in regards to their respective races in SCEvo. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be jumping into our fresh best of 7. We'll be discussing some of the changes here and a little bit more of the mod itself. Typically, we do cover this event at a more NA-friendly time, so there's a high chance that people watching might not be too familiar with StarCraft Evolution. We'll get into it. Again, it is a custom mod, and a lot of work has been put into the mod as well. A lot of work, a lot of efforts. Let's go. Let's go. So jump into our first game, jump into our first series. Again, our second broadcast of the day. We were casting the WarDCV Monday earlier this morning. Then we did we made the very smart decision of having a ladder stream, and that means that bam, we just no breaks. 4 hours of sleep, cast into cast. Let's go. Or cast into stream into cast, I should say. It's gonna be a long weekend. Oh no. It's gonna be a long one, Pappy. Bearing in mind, of course, tomorrow is gonna be GSL. We're gonna be fixating purely on GSL tomorrow. Big day, StarCraft. And spawning in the southern hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Solar. Hey. Here we go. So we have a best of 7 matchup here in StarCraft Evolution. We have a Brood War Protoss player up against an SC2 Zerg, and I believe it is loser's pick. So the loser of this game will be able to pick whether they want to stick with their current race or switch to their counterpart, whether it's SC2 or Brood War. Oh boy. Now, when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, it's still in flux a little bit. It's still kind of in the works, of course. They're working through all the models, all the unit models, all the building models, custom assets for the upgrades as well, of course. And this, it's very different, I should say. Like the resource gathering, the mineral patches, alongside even the high ground advantage as well, is very different in StarCraft Evolution. Has taken a lot of direction from Brood War and has kind of tried to meld the two together here. Think of Starbow back in the day. It's a little bit like Starbow, except they've gone and taken it one step further, I would say. One step further. So now Hatchgas Pool, standard opener here by Solar. Likewise, Gate Expand at a Classic. Typically in towards a Cybercore, into Robo, into Bay, in towards Reaver drops. That's usually the go-to build here for Classic. But he does like to mix in, say, faster Citadel of Adun and faster Zealot Legs and charge base openers. We have been seeing Classic mix in. We've seen it. Also, I'll try to look after myself, as did notice that my voice is a little bit strange. I mean, we've been spending all day casting, so it's yeah, we'll take care. For now, though, it is going to be Stargate Opener Classic. Interesting. Stargate Openers have been very in flux as of late. We haven't really been seeing too much of it, but we've been seeing a lot of changes. A lot of buffs to the Scouts as well. The Scout has been buffed and nerfed and changed and just and updated so often in StarCraft Evolution. Curious to see how this opens up and how this pans out for Classic. Going for the Stargate into Forge. This might even be a Fleet Beacon rush. We'll keep an eye on Classic to see if he does try to rush into carriers. For now, Soul going for a very fast Roach Horn, be hidden behind the main base, still mining gas. Soul is going for an all-in. He's going for a Roach all-in, and we'll see if Classic can survive this. Scout, not really known for its anti-ground attack, Forge for safety cannons to get away with the Stargate, but it's gonna be tough to get away with. Oh boy. It's gonna be difficult. So we have Lings on the way, Roaches on the way as well. Again, Solar is going for the all-in. Yeah, he's going to commit. Thankfully, Classic is somewhat aware. Across the map, Classic, he didn't see too much as to what was going on, but regardless, we're just flooding across the map as we speak. And the Classic, he did have a scouting probe, so he has somewhat of an idea. With the wall of cannons, I'll be honest, I don't think this is going to be enough here, especially with Ravagers in the mix. We can slow this down and just chip away at the wall and eventually break through. And what's it really going to be to hit to defend? What, 2 scouts? Oh boy. Yeah, so here we go. Roaches at water forward. They're within range of the Zealot. Zealot goes down. Yeah, Scouts doing what they can. They do focus on the first Ravager. True. I mean, this is free damage, and over time they will kill everything eventually. Can we buy enough time? We are getting a third Scout, and Solar starts to drone. He starts to drone up behind this. And Classic is holding. Wow, he's holding. He gets away with it. There's a mass cancellation. It did cost him 5 cannons, to be fair, but he does defend. Shout out to the Scout. The new Scout back. Nibbling away at the Roaches. He holds, and behind this, going for the Citadel of Adun, is working towards the Zealots. Okay. Working towards charge. Not going into Sky Toss. Yeah, not going with the Sky Toss here as there's the first Queens are going to be focused down. Catching out one Queen. GG. Wow, GG gets called as both Queens do fall in. Classic. Before even getting into Zealot legs, does kick things off with a win with the Scout. GG. GG, well played. Again, I know the Scout was recently buffed quite a bit, and Solo was just blindly going for an all-in anyway, and Core with his pants down. Core with his pants down. The Queens are overwhelmed. No spores back at home. No anti-air. GG. Wow, GG, well played. And with that, Classic does take a win initially, does get the first win on the board, and we're going to be seeing more of the same in the sense that Solar, he's sticking with SE2, sticking with StarCraft 2 here. Again, with a rough failed all-in. I wasn't too certain that the Scout DPS would be high enough, but I also haven't seen the new Scout after the recent buffs, so hey, there you go. It's solid. And with that, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Radeon, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss, the Brood War Protoss. For Virtus Pro, it is Classic. Let's go. Let us go. So workers are being sent across the map. This is a 4-player small map, by the way, and Classic will find Solar immediately. So very nice scouting here by our Protoss player. Does find Solar, did roll the dice, rolls well. Likewise, based on the initial Overlord positioning and direction, should eventually find a Classic as well. And welcome to Radeon. Radeon, again, is an interesting map in the map pool. We haven't experienced too many games on Radeon. It does have like a pseudo island base here as a potential 3rd or 4th expansion. Once again, 4-player spawn map has added some Xel'Naga towers here in the center as well, which will help when it comes to vision, especially when it comes to close spawns. And we do have close spawns. Coming into these small locations, we're expecting aggression to be favored here, but we'll keep an eye on our players. We'll keep an eye on them. Yes, for now, we are once again going for the gate expanded to Cybercore. Are we opening up Stargate again? We totally could. I mentioned earlier that robo openers were the norm, and I still expect that at some point in this series, but eyes are on Classic. As now he's just being as annoying as possible. Shows the tech of choice. Solo joining up. And this time, oh, okay, going for an earlier forge. Into the Stargate, into the same opener. Okay, so once again, we're going to be opening up Scouts. We're imagining that this is going to lead into a Citadel of Adun, into Zealot Legs, into a Gateway composition follow-up after the Stargate, but we'll see, because we could still very well so go into a greater tech and go into a carrier rush after the Scouts. How greedy we feeling? How greedy? Jesus, as we are going for a sub 3-minute lair, that is a 254, 253-ish lair timing. Jesus. So very early lair here from Solar. With this, we can do a couple different things. Link speed is on the way. We're still staying in gas. We're taking a second gas, guys. This could be for a Link Queen Nidus all-in. True. Could be for a Nidus all-in. And checking the vision here, there's no vision inside of the main expansion. Other option is 2-base Muta. This could be 2-base Muta, but we're going for a Corsair, not a Scout opener here this time from our Protoss. He does confirm the lair. Jesus. Does get eyes on the lair. Behind this, going for the Citadel once again. So very similar to Game 1. Meanwhile, big shout to baby links in the chat. God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 49 months, baby. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, congratulations. I didn't realize it during the stream earlier, but I did hear the good news. So, congrats. That's the baby links. That's now we have a Gateway Explosion. Citadel is on the way, getting into Zealot Legs, I would imagine. And behind this, oh, I thought it was going to be 2-base Muta, but no, it's going to be 2-base Hydra. Okay. So on the one hand, this is going to be anti-air available for the Sky Toss. That is true, but there's not much Sky Toss. Yes, we did go for a Corsair opener. That is true, but behind this, we have Zealots on the way. We're going to have Charge Lots. That'll be ideal against a more Hydra-heavy composition. I'm concerned here for Solar, as a Corsair does confirm the tech of choice. Classic, he does Scouts. You're catching at the Overseer as well. Until the 69 month. You're an animal. You're an animal. Oh, as there we go. The Overseer does go down. Did we just lose the Corsair? We did. Miscontrol at a Classic. I say miscontrol. I mean, a lot of this comes down to lack of experience with certain units where you're not really familiar with like the acceleration and how much you can get away with and when to pull away. But that was a misstep at a Classic to lose that second Corsair. Storm is on the way. Taking up into Charge Lots Archon Storm. I say Archon Storm as Zealot Legs. Speed Lots, there we go. Speed Lots Archon Storm. They don't charge. True. They do not charge. Hydras are spotted. Solar is running up behind this. He is pushing out with his Hydras, that is true, but he's just puffing up his chest. Like, this is a fake out push out of Solar. He does not intend to commit and go for an all-in. He's trying to force an overreaction out of Classic, and there's that overreaction. A wall of cannons. A wall of cannons on the way. Zealots, they do move out for a counterattack. They do it the third, not bad. Cashing out a mineral line. The Queen goes down. Solar Force will turn back around, buying more time. And we do catch a couple of Hydras. There we go, one. Oh, just the one. One Hydra going down, catching a couple of drones as well. Denying mining. Getting another 2 drones, actually. Oh my god. 3, 5. 5, 6 drones going down. Ay, papi, calm down. Este Classic. 6 drone kills back at home, 2 base play, Mass High Templar building up their Storm for the Mass Hydra. And we might just turn this into a 2 base all-in. We might just commit. Especially due to the fact that we invested so heavily into all these cannons, it might not be worth expanding. Might not be worth. We do have a couple of lurkers on the way. They're layer tech lurkers, not the best, but they will help. Yeah, lurkers in position, catching out one zealot, very nice. Lurkers are ready, and so far there is no detection. The lurkers are keeping solar in this. A storm can still punish, bear that in mind. Storms that hit different here in StarCraft Evolution. Storms do hit different. Hive is on the way. We still have the observatory. Yeah, the robo into the observatory, into eventually detection. First storm does own. There's a second. Oof. Does force you on bow. More storms later. Oh my god, it gets one. Yeah, one lurker goes down. We still have another storm. Ooh, gets two. Gets three. Zero detection. 3 lurkers go down purely by storm. That's crazy. Again, the storms. They hit. They hit hard, papi. So have to rebuild those lurkers. I mean, you could definitely argue that that was a lot of storm being spent for sure. So Classic is forced back. Still in 2 bases. Meanwhile, Solo working on a 4th. 4th base is on the way. Just mass saturation. Hive is almost done, which means we can start up those Hive Tech upgrades. We can get into range. There we go. Range is now on the way. And there's no easy way for Protoss to break into Siege lurkers, right? Into Hive Tech lurkers. No easy way. We're not there yet. Classic moves out. Does have the observer. Does have detection. Detection is available. Lurkers are somewhat exposed. Nice spread on lurkers though. They do spread nicely. Oh, but the storms are connecting. Yeah, the storms land, lurkers are exposed, and they're being focused out one after the other, and Classic is breaking through. Oh my god, another massive storm. Another storm lands, 1 lurker left. Oh, where are the zealots though? Yeah, no zealots. No more storm. Ling Hydra does overwhelm. May have lost all the lurkers, but Sola, he's done it. Sola, he has broken through again. If there's no splash damage, then Ling Hydra can excel. We need zealots, we need storm, we need archons. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Solar, because hey, those hive upgrades are finishing. They're finishing up. Solar on a relatively healthy economy. For now. Has Delta coming for a run by. They get 2 drones, nothing major. 3? 4? Oh my god. 4 drones going down. That's okay. Damage is done. And Solo, he will soon get into his own power spike. You can see the supply disparity getting larger and larger. Lurkers, more of them are amassing. As I mentioned before, typically against this many Hive-Tech lurkers, we will need Sky Toss, but the Classic is stuck on the ground. There's no carriers yet, and without carriers, there's no good answer. There's no good answer here to all these lurkers. Again, Classic can't afford carriers as he only just now got his 3rd up and running. It's so late. Yeah, late 3rd base, and Solo, he's about to max. He's about to max out. And with that Solo, he can overwhelm. Hoping to bypass the army. And force a bit of a base trade. Oh, even going for the Nidus. Okay. Let's go. And Nidus Storm looks like it will finish. Lunkers are in the Nidus. Classic gonna be forced to commit. Remember, there's no recall. True. This there is no recall. And we just gotta go for it. Classic, he sends it, Pappy. Tries to commit in. There are a lot of storms. True. Oh, good. 1 storm lands up, but the High Templar get caught out. That's 2 Templar falling, or 3 Templar go down. Heavy losses there for Classic. Losing so many Templar. The Storms are good, but there aren't many because so many Templar just go down. That's 6 Templar going down. Ay. Lurkers are in the main production. They're in the natural base as well. Everything's just flashing red. Everything's on fire. Delanka's everywhere. And Classy turns around. He turns around. He races back home. There's nothing to turn back to. There's nothing here. Nothing's left. There's nothing left. Oh, no. Oof. Yeah, Dragoons, they just waddle into their deaths. GG gets called. GG gets called, and Solar ties up the series. We have it back and forth. We have that back and forth. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very chaotic early game here. We saw initially Classic, he was very dedicated on 2 bases. So was Solar. But Solar, he was able to quickly transition into a 3rd base and join up from there. Meanwhile, again, Classic was very late to expand. Very late to get a 3rd base up and running. Very late to build up. And as a result, he was just outscaled. He was just outscaled by the Mass Lurker. There was a window in time where maybe Classic could break through before Hive Tech Lurkers. And he was fighting well, but he just didn't have enough. Did not have enough. GG, well played. So we load into game número 3. Going to be loading into Golden Wall. Oh, interesting. Very old map in the map pool from back in like 2021, 2022. It's been a good amount of years. An older map has been revamped a little bit here for StarCraft Evolution. A little bit. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Golden Wall, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player tying up the series and being forced for the first time to play Brood War Zerg. It is Solar. We go. As welcome on all to Golden Wall. Golden Wall again is a very old, I say very old, it's an older map in the map pool from a couple of years ago. Again, this is the first map, one of the first maps that featured this kind of idea of cutting the map in half with mineral patches in such a way where you have the top half and the bottom half of the wall. This was later utilized for, say, El Dorado in more recent times in recent years, Alcyone as well. There are more recent maps that use this kind of feature where they just cut the map in half or cut a section off with mineral patches, and this is kind of where that began. Likewise, similar to 10,000 feet, we do have a base here right outside of the main. So technically we have seen players go for like a rush where they take this gas geyser and they slowly mine through these middle patches. They create an opening and then bam, they just go for a link flood or some kind of all-in. That has been seen in the past. For now, hatch gas pool. Standard opener. Nothing crazy. Oh, actually, my apologies. Solar going for a very fast 3rd base and going for the gold. I kind of glossed over it. But yes, we have this entire southern half of the map completely sealed off by mineral patches, but also we have 2 gold bases. We have 2 gold bases. They can be taken from either side, of course. Taken from the top side here. Solar is being very greedy, and we'll see if Classic can punish this greed. Usually this is punished by oracles or by adepts, but hey, those units that I just mentioned are available for Classic actually. He's playing SC2 Protoss. We'll see. We'll see if we can punish. You can even warp into depths on the other side of the wall. Have them punish the economy. For now, Stargate. Stargate opener. Likewise, macro hatches on the way. Bearing in mind for Brood War Zerg, Hydras are hatch tech. And there it is. Speaking of, Hydrogen has been thrown down. So Hydras are the name of the game. The other option outside of going into Hydras is to try to go into Mutaplay, which can be very risky. So Hydrogen is now done. Oh, Adept does threaten a shade. And we'll deny some mining, but no major damage yet. Yeah, Link Speed kicks in. And Solar defense. Solar does defend a little bit too cavalier there from Classic behind this, going for the Eva Chamber, going into upgrades. Classic, he did open up Oracle, and the first Oracle is now popping out. As it moves out, it's all about denying mining here at the gold. Oracle moves out, Lings they move in. There are 2 adepts to defend. Classic holds. Classic, he defends well. Hydra production has begun, but no Hydra's in position, which means these drones, they will go down. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 drone kills, nice damage. There is a Hydralist here to defend, also will go down. Oh, no safety spores, by the way. Yes, so much greed out of Solar. He gets punished. 6, 7 drones. 7 drone kills, things that can't do anything across the map. 8 drones are going down. We're still not done because here comes the second Oracle. And again, Solar, he chose not to get any Spore Crawlers. His Hydras, they popped out a little bit too late. And this is critical damage. 11 kills. Oh my god. Classic is running out of energy. He's running out. And he can always mine through these patches here and expand on the south side. God, as he finds more time. There's still no spores, by the way. At this point, there's not going to be any spores. At this point, I feel like Solo is going to be forced into an all-in. As he bleeds out 13 drones. Oh, god. Yeah, the Oracles, they just bully Solar. 1 Oracle finally goes down. Now the question becomes, can Classic survive the counterattack? We're building up a decent Hydra count. We have how many so far? We have 10. So it'd be 13 Hydras, 13 Hydralisks. Back at home, charges on the way. That'll be ideal. Classic is getting there. Sapphire has killed 14 drones. Solar, he moves out across the map. It's all or nothing. Solar's all in. Solar, he's not re-droning. He does prioritize saturation of the gold. And the Oracles will hit the gold base. This also means they won't be at home to defend with stasis traps. They will kill everything. Clean up all the workers. We have force. What do we do? We try to size up the army. Is this going to be enough? We have slow lots warping in. They're slow. God, and the SimCity here is working against the Zealots. But nice force field still locks down 5 Hydras. Okay. That's a lot of Hydras going down. There's what, 4 Hydras left. GG. Wow, GG gets called. The all-in fails. I mean, forced all-in fails. And Classic takes game number 3, taking a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. I mean, there wasn't really too much of that game. It all just came down to the fact that Solar had no anti-air in time. So the Oracle just showed up and just won the game. Just killed everything. There was no Spore Crawler. I say Spore Crawler. There was no Spore Colony, which is what it's called in StarCraft Evolution. There was no Spore Colony. I will say that Solar, he was hoping, I would imagine, to get the Hydras out in time to defend, but they were a couple of seconds too late, right? They were just a little bit too late, and without those Hydras, without the Spore Colony, just critical damage. Critical damage. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 4. We're going to be loading into Vermeer. Let's go. Oracle's so good. Oracle's so good when you have nothing that shoots up. As I mentioned, Solar, he chose not to get Spore Colonies, and he tried to defend with purely Hydras, but they arrived too late. They just arrived a little bit too late. By a couple of seconds, and now here we go. We're getting into our next game. Going to be spawning into Vermeer, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Brood War Protoss now. For Virtus Pro, leading the series 2-1, it is Classic. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the SE2 Zerg player. It is Solar. Remember, it is loser's pick, so Solar, he lost the last game. He chooses to play StarCraft 2 Zerg this time. Meanwhile, Classic is looking for Solar. Welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a classic 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left as well. Looks like Solar, he's aware of 2 of the possible spawn locations for Classic. Classic likewise as well. Classic knows that Solar is either top left or bottom left. Now he confirms Solar is bottom left. Does confirm. I don't know if you can see on the minimap there, but when I look at Solar's vision, you can see that there are 2 notifiers for top right and bottom right, but not top left. Here in StarCraft Evolution, their solution for 4-player spawn maps is that whenever you spawn in, 2 locations get pinged and 1 location doesn't, and that 1 location that isn't pinged tells you that they're not there. So it removes 1 possible spawn location, so it does reduce RNG when it comes to scouting. That is the SCEvo solution. In regular SE2, the solution is speed zones. If you have been watching any of the TLMC tournaments and the new map pool that's on the horizon, Exarch, for example, has these massive aqueducts full of speed zones to like rush across the map with workers to scout the corners of the map. Likewise, the other maps also have a lot of speed zones in place to make it easier to scout in that way. It's Fear and Faith. They have the monorail system. Yeah. So different game modes, different solutions. As Solo is still looking for Classic's location, checks bottom right, confirms that Classic is not here, so now he's aware of top right. Now he is aware. Behind this, it looks like a Forge base opener into, once again, a Stargate. So for a very, very long time, the standard go-to opener in PvZ was Robo into Reaver drop, but especially with the buffs to the Scouts, it looks like that Classic, he has been very fond of Forge into Stargate into Scout instead. I mean, I say that, we did see a Corsair opener previously, but Stargate play nonetheless. And there's that Stargate. So he's been very fond of these Stargate openers. And we've had some mixed success, for sure. Has been mixed. Solo droning, saturating. With Stargate, we can hunt down the Overlords, deny vision, and this leads typically into charge. But the big thing that I'm going to be looking for here is how and when we claim our third base. Last time we saw this build at Classic on Radeon, he had such a hard time expanding, and he had such a delayed third. Very early tech here, as we start the Citadel of Adun before the Stargate was even done. So this time we're being a little bit greedier when in terms of tech. We are cutting corners. And it makes sense because unlike on Radeon, here we have cross spawns, right? We have diagonal spawns, so we have a longer rush distance by ground. So a higher chance that we can embrace the mid to late game. Higher chance. So it gets caught. Save the Roach run out of Solar. Solar he does into Scouts, and Solar he will seal the gate, so he knows. He knows it's not Skytos. Lings are moving out in position to delay the third. And Classic, he is going to be stuck on 2 bases, committing very hard here, going up to 5 gateways. 6 gate setup. With the Temple Archives getting into Storm. I'm still not convinced by this build just because it's very, very 2-base dedicated and it just slows you down quite heavily here. But the rationale might just be that you need all this to be able to expand. Just because, again, Scouts are not Oracles, right? Oracles do an amazing job against all these Zerglings, and they completely clean them up if they try to delay the third. The Scout, again, is not the Oracles, so it's not as useful of a tool when it comes to expanding. When it comes to being used for anti-Ling aggression. Oh. Now we see why it was a Roach Warren opener. It's Roach Warren in towards Mutas, into the Spire. So Muta play here from Solar. Scout pokes in. Scout is going to be hunted down and does not scout the tech. Barely not. Oh. So close yet so far. Does confirm the lair at least. Is aware that something is going on. Is aware that we're taking up in some way, but does not know which way. Seeing lack of Eva Chamber might be a tell, right? The idea that there's only Roach Warren and no Eva Chamber does scream Spire instead of Hydra. But it could also be like a Roach Hydra all in Classic size. Celerambai will hit the third. Does spot Roaches. Not the tell he was hoping for. Not the scat he was hoping for. Robo's on the way for the observatory. For detection. Lings they poke in. And the Spire went unscouted. And now we can just go into Mass Muta. Oh boy. The mutants are amassing. And these High Templar are looking very exposed. It's going to be up to Solid. What does he want? Does he want economic damage or the High Templar? Or both? Or does he die for? With the Overlord explosion and with these roaches on the way, it looks like Solid's going for the kill. It looks like he may just avoid the mineral line and go straight for the Templar. If the Templar go down, the roach army can just overwhelm. And as you can see, Solar, he cut works at 66, getting a 4th base just for larva. Solar is going for a 3 base all in. 3 base all in. It's our storm. There's a 2nd. Dies on the High Templar. Does force an Archon. And it will get 1 Templar. Massive pickoff. 0 Templar left. 0 storms. Here comes Roach Army. The 1-2 punch. The mutants, they pave the way for the roaches. And they're coming. Gonna catch out at one of the Dragoons. And 1-2 Dragoons go down. Oh, forcing out another storm. And again, that means 0 storms for the roaches. As the Roach Army moves in, Solar, he's almost max. Does hit the 3rd. Buzz on the cannon. And with that, Solar has done it. Solar, he has broken Classic. Again, Classic just didn't scout. He didn't know. He misread the situation. He was ready for a ground army, and with that, he just was forced to spend every single storm. All the Templar went down, and now the 3rd base has been broken, and we are getting into a back and forth into a game 5. As there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Gateway goes down. The cannon as well. So he snowballs out of control. Breaks into the natural. Dragons are kiting as best they can. Mutas came to the main. Go for boys being pulled. Desperation here from Classic. Desperation. So the 16 pro kills. GG gets called, and Solar ties up the series 2-2. GG. GG, well played. Once again, Classic just had very limited scouting, very limited information. Did not see the Spire, did not see the Mass Muta. He had no idea what was going on, and as a result, he got caught his pants down. The pants are down, and Solar does claim the win. With that, ties things up. We tie up the series here, and we are now loading into a map that we rarely get to see, by the way. It's a very commonly vetoed map as we load into Death Valley. Let's go. We're loading in. And spawning in the top right hand corner of top left hand corner of Death Valley, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the Brood War Zerg. Oh, tying up the series 2-2 in this best of 7 show match. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the SC2 Protoss player. The red Protoss of Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And welcome to Death Valley. And again, I wish we got to see more of this map as... Oh, I wonder if they're asking about it, actually. Hold on. Un momento, papi. I got it. I was like, what the hell is this map? What the hell's going on? I don't know, papi. I don't know. Never been here before. So, Solar, he's asking, can units fit through the gas geysers? So the way this works, for those who are unaware, it looks like Solar doesn't know how this mechanic works. In Brood War, these are neutral gas geysers. Units can pass through this. This is large enough for units to be able to pass back and forth. But the reasoning, as to the purpose, I should say, of these neutral gas geysers is that they are covering gas geysers. So let's just say these are neutral assimilators, and they're covering gas geysers. And the way that it works here is that the gas geyser model is larger than the assimilator model. So when you destroy an assimilator, it turns into a gas geyser, which walls this off. Which the gas guys will be bigger than what's on top of them. They wall this area off, and I think it will create a full wall, like a permanent wall. So it is a fun feature. As we can get into the map itself, Solar does expand here on the bottom left. Does open up the mineral path. and welcome to Death Valley. So the way this map works here, as Classic did pylon block to force the expansion, we do have our main base. It's a pretty large main, very large main. We can expand here on the top side. We go for our vertical spawn, vertical expand, and expand on the top side of the map, or we can go for the southern half instead. And I believe these two halves are completely isolated from each other. So in that sense, it's a little bit similar to Golden Wall, where Golden Wall is walled off by mineral patches, but here just by terrain. You can see like the river here or the cliff faces. Like there's just no way to traverse to the top side except through this one ramp for both players, right? Either here or here. So we have two different halves. So we have the top half, which is really short rush distance by ground, has access to a high yield gas geyser as well, but not many bases up here. It's mainly an attack path more than anything. Meanwhile, we have the southern half of the map, which is larger, more bases, of course, more open, bear that in mind, much more open, much more exposed, a lot of points of elevation as well. We do see that Solar does expand on the south side as he's forced to, Classic expanding on the top side instead. As we are going for a faster hydrogen into link speed. Hydra upgrades on the way. Classic does move out, and you can see the Solar, he wants to wall this off. As we mentioned, if you destroy the assimilator, you can fully wall this area off. Now the Adept does move in. Adept moves in. Gets one drone so far, very nice. The reason why I said I think I called this a more modern map, and it is, this is a more modern, a more recent ASL map. I believe this came out, what, circa of 2025? I'm pretty sure last year. Pretty sure last year this map did come out in ASL. From my understanding, the Brutal players did not like this map in ASL. And for StarCraft Evolution, this is one of the more vetoed maps of the map pool. Where are we going? Wait, what? We're going for the... Okay, we're all in. Okay. Unstatted, by the way, but Solar, he's going for a massive link. Hydra all in. Link speed is done. Hydra speed finishing up as well. And here come the boys to open up this middle path. But there is somewhat of a wall here for Classic. Not a full wall, but a wall of nonetheless. There's SimCity. Yeah, there is some SimCity. Classic, does he notice in time? How quickly does he react? He sees. Yeah, does see what's going on. No reaction. No, he doesn't see. No, he doesn't know. Yeah, Classic is distracted. He's harassing across the map. He does spot the Hydras, and he should confirm no saturation. And he now does. 0 drones. 0 drones. Now he should be aware. Now he checks. Yeah, he should check. There it is. Now he knows, but it's too late. It's still too late. The pylon is exposed. Links do flood in. Batteries being thrown down in a panic. Late reaction, late scout here by a Classic. Late realization. Late reaction. Yeah, the main base has been broken. Takes down both pylons. Depowers the gateways. Nice depowered icon here for the Twilight Council as well. True. Is depowered. And we're still rallying. We're still rallying across the map. Classic, can we make a stand here? He has how many gates? He has 1. He has 1 gateway to warp in. The boys are being pulled. It does have the high ground advantage at least. Okay. Yo, despite the messy reaction here, we're trying to hold on, but that's a lot of Hydras. That's a lot of Hydras. Lings, they move in on the top side as well. Oof, 1 Oracle goes down. Classic was distracted. Yeah, big distraction. Probes are pulled to defend. Gateway's under fire. They are repowered. We can warp in again. We can force field. We can lock him in. Okay. Yeah, Hydra's they locked in. And every Hydra's going to go down. They trade with the probes. So remember, Classic is miles ahead economically. He's fine. He can afford these losses. And the all-in is failing. Yeah, the all-in does fail. Solar GG gets called. Classic, he will take a 3-2 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. It was a fun cheese and a fun all-in there from Solar, but he just did not have enough to push up the ramp, bearing in mind that the defender's advantage is stronger in StarCraft Evolution, and even though Classic had a late reaction and a late response, he still was able to pull the boys, buy enough time, repower his gateways, and defend. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic does take a lead, and we're now getting into game number 5. Sorry, game number 6. True. Getting into game 6 here. Going to be loading into Sylphid, a very old map in the map pool. It's been around for like 2 years. Oh boy. It's been around for a while. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Sylphid, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Brood War Protoss leading the series 3-2, and we'll see if he can close this out with one more win. It is a classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the SE2 Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can tie things up and force the ace match. It is Solar. Go. Let us go. Now, so far, the games have been pretty fast. We have experienced a little bit of mid-game, but not even. Like, the longest game that we had was the game where Solar did go into Hive Tech Lurkers, but Classic, he was on a two-base economy. Like, Classic, he never built up into the mid-game in any kind of meaningful way, so yes, the game did last a little bit longer, and yes, Solar got into Hive Tech, and yes, Solar maxed out, but it wasn't really a back and forth, if you will. We've had to experience that back and forth mid-game, and we'll see if we can get there here. We shall see. Nexus first. So Nexus first at a Classic. Welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom right, bottom left, or top side. So 3 possible spawn locations. Solar does scout bottom left first, and he will not find anyone. Meanwhile, Classic does not probe scout. Oh, sorry, he does. He probe scouts towards the left-hand side, now pushing up towards the top side. He was looking for an Overlord coming in this direction. And with that, we are settling into our game. Again, greedier build out of Classic. Much greedier build. So far, Solar has only won with SE2 Zerg, which makes sense. Like he's less experienced with StarCraft Evolution. So this is his game. Like Solar, he's able to play what he does best. StarCraft 2. So now our players are building up. Third base meeting with Solar. So joining me once again. Yep, Forge. Forge into Stargate in towards a Skytoss opener. I say Sky, just a Stargate opener here by a Classic. Every game so far, it's been Stargate into Zealot Legs, into Archon Production, into Storm, on 2 bases. I'm hoping that we go for a faster third, but I imagine that Classic wants to hit an earlier timing. This is moving out with his first Zealots. There's a Stargate. Into Scout. The Zealot working with purpose, man. True. Can he get a drone? No. Yeah, it does disrupt, does Scout back at home. There's the Citadel of Adun working towards Zealot Legs. +1 attack into what we're expecting to be a 6-gate setup on 2 bases. That's what we've seen so far by Classic. I say that. Are we going for a faster Nexus? No. Nah. Yeah, the probe does move out across the map. I guess trying to scout more than anything. It is going to be not a scout, a Corsair opener. Ling does get in. Solar, he confirms the Zealot Legs. He confirms the build is the same. Does confirm the build. Corsair moves out, hunting for Overlords. And Solar, is he going to go for the same reaction? Does he go into Roaches, into Spire, into Mass Muta, or does he commit with Roach Tech instead? As Overlords, they are over their Queens. Classic, he gets a full Scouts. Does confirm the Lair in production. Does confirm the Roach Horn as well. Have the NG upgrade on the way. It's like Amulet of Caldaris or something. The energy upgrade. And And the real question becomes, do we actually go for the Spire or do we double down? Based on the Evo Chamber, now if you remember the game where we did see Muta play, there was no Evo Chamber, there were no upgrades for the Roaches. This time there is, so this tells us that we're committing harder into a ground army instead, not Mutas. There's that Gateway Explosion, as we mentioned, it's going to be a 6-gate setup on 2 bases. So a lot of gateways into a very late third. And I feel like Classic's being hard countered. Like, again, Classic has been playing the same. This is the 3rd time we're seeing this build. Exactly the same. Almost. I say 6, 8 gateways. It looks like this time this is a proper 2-base all-in. But the problem is that Solar isn't droning. Solar, he's making roaches. Like, he should be ready for this. It feels like Solar's build should be a hard counter. We'll see when it comes to the execution. I don't think that, I mean, Solar could just push in, actually. I was going to say I don't think he needs to, but, I mean, why not? Solar pokes in. Vials, they connect with both cannons. Both cannons will go down. And Solar's just breaking through. Storm is only halfway done. Yeah, Storm is not going to be a factor here. Without Storm, there's no defense. There's no defense. Roach is overwhelmed. Oh, there are some DTs though. True. Okay. We'll still take some heavy losses, but DTs are doing damage over time. Piles on the cannon. Gets into the mineral line. Can we get on top of the High Templar? Again, that's a lot of damage from the Dark Templar. As he does pile down another cannon. Pushing into the main. The boys are being pulled. Desperation. And we have detection. We have detection. Ooh, Storm on the ramp. Oh my god. Very nice Storm, but it's too late. It's still too late. Even with the DTs doing so much damage, it does not matter. The natural base has been forfeit. The natural will go down. And this is critical damage. And we are going to the ace match. We're going to game 7. Oh god. GG gets called. Despite the storms, Solar, he does have the series. We're going all the way to game number 7. GG. GG, well played. And again, I'm still not convinced by this build here from Classic. We've seen it twice now. We've seen it fail twice as well when it comes to Muta player, when it comes to Roach aggression and Roach all-ins, which is what Soul just went for. It does feel like it takes a little bit too long to really get going. And there's no real follow-up either, just because you're just so committed on 2 bases. It does leave much to be desired, I feel. And with that, GG. With that, GG well played. With that, we're getting into the ace match, where I believe Classic is now able to play his main race, SE2. SE2 Protoss is now going to be coming out from Classic. It's going to be him with the advantage this time, and we'll see if Solar can exceed those expectations. We'll see if he can subvert them even, and win a game with the Brood War Zerg. Oh boy. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Kara's Passage, we have the StarCraft 2 Protoss player, the SE2 Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player, himself. It is Solar. So Brutal Protoss versus SE2 Zerg. Sorry, the other way around. Brutal Zerg versus SE2 Protoss, I meant to say. It's been a long day, baby. It's been a long day. Mob after a nap. I'm celoso, baby. I'm celoso. Would love to nap. So now we are going to be opening up. And welcome to Kara's Passage. Kara's Passage is an older TLMC map. I don't really know why this map was chosen to be added to the SEL map pool, but it was. Definitely has some interesting features. We have a bunch of gold bases. As you can see here, we have a gold base top right, gold base top further right as well. We have 4 gold expansions available to us, and Classic does make sure that Soul does not rush into a gold. Fair enough. Shin has been known to do so. Likewise, we have plenty of towers here, plenty of rocks. You can knock them down. You can wall this area up. You can open up the northern area as well. You have choke points. It's an interesting map that I feel like there are a bunch of features that want to force longer games. So I understand the rationale behind this map, but we'll see if we can get one. Again, we've yet to really experience any kind of mid to late game, as we were trying to emphasize earlier. This hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it will. It's only 6 a.m. lights. It's his lunchtime. Ah, no. Smooch. I'll have you know, I woke up this morning to cast. Thank you very much. Ay, ay, ay. Este baby links. Smooch. We are degens, but different kind of degens. We're the kind of degens that don't get to sleep. True, true. Degens. Oh. As we do see Solar getting a full wall up and running. Okay, hatchery, hydrogen, and the Evo chamber as well. Adepts, they have arrived, and we tried to leave an opening, but I believe that's a full wall. Yeah, so cheeky move there. Cheeky move out of Classic. He was hoping to create an opening, kind of like in PvP, but he does at least force a full wall up out of Solar. Does force a full wall. Behind this, gas is being taken. We're joining up. Solar trying to go to base Hydra. That Hydrogen taking a lot of damage, actually. But the Adepts should be zoned away. They're going to be zoned back. Behind this, we've yet to experience any tech here from Classic. Does he just kill this? He does. These sword ups cannot be attacked. No shot. Nah, Solar, he has to break out. Break out, Bobby, break out. He can't save it. No. Save the hydrogen, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the Evo chamber is going to go down. Hydras, they try to break out, and if they bust in. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Oh, no. And if they bust into the main, they're going to be able to one-shot drones. Yeah, 1, 2 drones going to be going down. One more volley, one more shot. Odamas, he gets it. Hydrogen goes down, denies the upgrade as well, and we are still getting damage done. Ooh, they're on A move. Adepts are on A move. So lack of control there from Classic, only gets 1 drone. This could have been devastating damage. This could have been devastating. I mean, it still kind of is. It still is brutal. Oh, no. Tell them what time you have breakfast. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Oh, no. As with that 5 drones. 5 drones going to be going down. Solar, he has to rebuild his hydrogen, has to restart his upgrades. Can now move out, and Solar's all in at this point. Solar, he's completely all in. You can see he's not droning. He's not droning or saturating. He's moving out with whatever he can. Back at home, what do we have to defend? We have a wall of batteries. We have batteries on the way. We have charge on the way as well. That'll be ideal against the Hydras. The longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Classic. And one way or another, the game is about to end. The game is about to end. Solar has arrived. I mean, that is a decent chunk of Hydras. True. Decent concave as well. It's a lot of damage being dealt to the Stalkers. But the batteries are finishing. Force fields, they zone back some of the Hydras as well. They reduce service area. They're buying time. Charge is almost complete. 10 seconds. 10 seconds away. Classic supply block. He can't warp in. Nah, Classic. The supply block. Throws down 4 pylons. 5 pylons get thrown down. Heavy supply block for Classic. Ay, ay, ay. Pylons are finishing. And Classic should be able to engage. And now should be able to. Force. Oh my god, he locks down the Hydras. They get locked down. They get cut in half. Some brutal losses there for Solar. Oh, was Zeltay Rick's end? Okay, there we go. Did he pull away? Zeltay pull away. Now collapsing back in, sniping more Hydras. So many Hydras going to be going down. And with that, Classic has done it. Classic, he has done it. He completely cleans up the army. Again, these Hydras, they cannot deal with Zealots. Not like this. Not like this. And with that, Classic will slowly overwhelm. He snowballs out of control, cleans up the main army. GG gets called, and Classic will claim the series 4-3, claiming the win here in this SEL show match. GG. GG, well played. Again, just a very rough start from Solar, winding it back. Solar, he was forced to fully wall off to defend against the Adepts, and in doing so, he exposed his own tech. The Hydrogen was a part of the wall, and we saw that Classic was able to get a free kill, was able to get free damage on the Hydrogen. Solar, he eventually had to make the hard decision to kill his own Evo Chamber to break out. By the time he did, it was too late. He lost the Hydrogen. That heavily delayed the all-in. Not just that, in killing the Evo Chamber, it allowed for Adepts to bust into the main base and to kill, it was 6 drones in total. 6 drones also went down. When you're going for an all-in, every drone counts. Every drone does matter. So a delayed all-in and a stifled all-in as well. So it hit later. It didn't hit as hard. There were less Hydras to work with. And by the time Solo got across the map, it was too late. There were batteries and charge was on the horizon. GG. The supply block from Classic didn't help, and that gave Solar a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe get some damage and to kill some gateways. But once the supply block was done with, then Classic just snowballed. Snowballed. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As with that, Classic will claim the series. Did SCEvo win 7 games in a row? Classic won with Brood War Protoss as well. Like, Classic, he won with both. Solar, he only won with SC2 Zerg. But that makes sense. Like, Solar, he's less experienced with StarCraft Evolution. Less so than Shin, for example. I did mention that Shin, like, I would make the argument that he's, like, the stronger SCEvo Zerg player. So Solar, he's less experienced and a little bit less versatile as a result. But we saw some interesting builds, some interesting all-ins out of Solar, for sure. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations, Classic. He will claim the series, and we'll see when we get the next StarCraft Evolution Masters tournament. It's interesting to see the meta evolve. For a very, very long time, it was meta to go for robo openers in ZVP, or sorry, PVZ, but here we saw a lot of Stargate play. A lot of Stargate play with mixed success. And by that, I mean, did win 1 game with it. That's true. That's true. But with that, GG well played. Congratulations here to Classic. But again, it was a fun back and forth. And with that, when it comes to more StarCraft Evolution content, we should be covering SEL, the final Open Cup number 22, I believe next week. Sorry, this week. This week on Friday should be our coverage of StarCraft Evolution League. Otherwise, we are almost done catching up. We still have a couple of Wardy TV Mondays in the backlog. We still have some Brazilian tournaments in the backlog featuring Eric, of course. We have some Amantis and some Kofa Giants Cup as well. We will catch up. We will catch up over the next 2 weeks of time, and then we catch up just in time for Home Story Cup and Maestros of the Game and all the other StarCraft. The schedule just keeps getting bigger. But we're trying to find some free time every now and then to calm down, to stream, to chill. When it comes to our next schedule here, when it comes to our next broadcast, this is a shorter broadcast. We just had the one show match. We didn't have like another show match to coincide with this one, unfortunately. We typically try to like to pile up a couple of show matches, but we had just had the one. But looking at our schedule, it's okay just having a shorter one because tomorrow we have GSL, right? Tomorrow we do have GSL. That's going to be in less than 24 hours. For those who don't know, we've been live casting GSL the entire year. So shout out to Soup for giving us the opportunity to live cast GSL through the clean feed. And we do so on Soup. We do not cast on Twitch and YouTube. We have the rebroadcast here after the fact, but we have live coverage over on Soup. If you don't know what Soup is another streaming platform. Exclamation mark Soup. Yeah. There's another streaming platform. It's basically the Korean Twitch, Korean version of Twitch. That's where we stream. It's time to get back to the real question. CranKy Ducklings. What year was Light's last breakfast? I'll have you know, I did have breakfast today, okay? I did have it. But it was after the cast. So it was around like 1 p.m. or something. It was 2 p.m.-ish was breakfast. But well, we got it. And fun fact, I did have quote-unquote lunch like just before this cast, so like at 6 p.m. 6 p.m.-ish, 6:30. Don't worry about my sleep schedule. It's fine. It's fine. What about the second social construct? True. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we'll be live tomorrow with GSL. Going to be live casting GSL tomorrow. Tomorrow is only going to be GSL. We have just just to focus solely on that broadcast. So we get to sleep, Pat. We get to sleep. Delayed meals. Confessions of a caster. Oh no. Oh no. But yes, we are going to be getting some rest. So we get to sleep in tomorrow, true, to focus on GSL. When it comes to next week's schedule, just expect more of OSC, more of Amanthus, Tunic Cup, Kung Fu Cup. We are going to be once again hosting our tournaments in the PTR. True. Going to be hosting our tournaments in the PTR, so look forward to that. Otherwise, we have mainly just a catch-up week of a bunch of like a backlog of tournaments of Kung Fu Cup, of Code for Giants Cup, Amanthus. We got you. Otherwise, something that's not on the calendar that we do work on, but you might not be aware of that, Uthermal. Uthermal's 2v2 circuits. For those who don't know, we run the event. The Ducklings, we run the event, Pappy. We don't cast the event because we're busy adminning and working behind the scenes, which is a bit of a shame. I don't get to cast it, but it's all good. We do work behind the scenes instead with old mate Mark, with Uthermal. So do enjoy that. That's going to be later on tonight in around 5 hours. In around 5 hours time, we have the 2v2 circuit, which is going to last the next couple of weeks. A lot of 2v2 actions, a lot of fun seeing players like Clem and Cyril and Showtime and Skillus and Laser and all these guys. Big Gabe, Classic, Shin, Bjorn, they all play in this Solar, they all play in this 2v2 format. It is great to see. There's also voice comms, and they're all incentivized to stream their POVs. True, they all stream their POVs. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the sport. We're going to be heading off here for the time being, and I'm going to go feed the bunnies and try to nap. Do my best. Who's live at the moment? Oh, yo, sort of. Esther Bjergsen. It's live. Let's go.
On all streams, this first match.
I haven't seen him stream in a long time. It's okay, so it's great to see him back. So we'll give him a raid, give him some love, give him some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some GSL action. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. See you next time. If you want to support us, you can do so via the socials, !socials in the chat. You can follow us there if you wish. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon as well. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. Again, we are one of the few events that do host our tournaments on the PTR, so if you want some PTR action, bam, we got you covered during the Tunic Cup and during our amateur events as well, so you can check that out over on the PTR, over on Patreon. Otherwise, thanks for watching. So clearly, Lad's trying to scam us when he says he'll get some sleep. He's not casting his admin. True. I might try. I mean, the event is 4 hours away, so I might try to nap a little bit. We'll see. I don't know if I trust myself to wake up in time. We'll figure it out. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for GSL. See you tomorrow. Till then, ciao. Hasta luego.